So welcome everyone to another magical spiritual hour. And our guest today is the lovely Serena. And Serena's going to be telling us a lot about her journey and what she's working with at the moment. But of course, I would like to start by asking Serena, how did you get into spirituality? What has your journey been like?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one. I think I was always I was born into a very holistic family. I had a very holistic mother. I was very lucky. She was a hippie, in the 60s, 70s, brought up very unconventional anyway. So I always had kind of meditation in my family, and I kind of rebelled a little bit like your story, Catherine. I think I tried to go to the corporate world, and I tried the, traditional route of living in this 3D matrix, and I was never happy and I was never fulfilled. And I think it takes a couple of awakenings, doesn't it? There's a couple of trigger points, but most of us really truly woke up after the whole lockdown situation. And for me, that was like the pieces of the puzzle coming together for everything. Throughout the years, there's always things I always knew weren't right and that didn't make sense. And in terms of the spirituality with what we're talking about today, I will kind of bring it all together and I'll simplify it because I offer so many modalities. And what I've got to the point of now is realizing, yes, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. However, when I merge them together and present it in a way that can impact someone, I feel, Bea touched on it earlier, it's that embodiment, the body, mind, and soul. So when I get to the soul subliminals, which I'm going to share with you guys today, my little passion project, which I'm very excited to share, it's basically a mixture of everything, that we've done. So I am currently a Nisui Reiki master. I offer sound healing with my clients with tuning forks. We have a holistic center here in a shop. We do beauty as well. So a bit of everything really. But traditionally I'm a life coach. So I'm a certified life coach. So I help people to, get what they want with their goals, their affirmations. So yeah, a bit of everything really. But I'll explain how I embodied it in a sec. But yeah, that's kind of my background to this point.
That is amazing. And thank you for sharing, because there's a lot of people on the call that will have experienced that, or people that are going to watch this video later. And they're going to go, you know what, I recognize that. I try to do the corporate world and I've tried to do that. And actually, there's this undying need within us to actually experience and express our spirituality. So well done for waking up to that. Okay, so well, do you want to dive into the nuts and bolts of your subliminal work? It sounds so interesting. I love that word, subliminal. What does it mean? How does it work? What is your
So
experience?
yeah, I'll start at the beginning, I guess, with subliminal. So you probably have heard of subliminal messaging. It is a very it's been used since like the 1940s, and they used to implement it in media when media first came out. So it would be used to brainwash the person on the radio, on the television when that was new, to get you to buy things. If I reference the movie They Live, you'll know what I mean. Kind of buy, buy, buy. It's a 1980s movie. Definitely recommend to check it out. It kind of explains the reality of the matrix we live in. And subliminals have been used almost as a weapon against humanity in a very dark way. They do use it in the military. And what happened was they actually use it. It's progressed. I'll give an example of a subliminal. Coca-Cola advert would put something out, and behind the advert on TV, it would be whispering, buy me, buy me. You wouldn't hear it, but it would be subliminally telling you that. They have gotten away with that for a very long time. I say they, I'm being very generic because this has to go on social media platforms, but we don't want to be shut down. But you know what I'm saying with that. And there's that real, well, I didn't want to buy Coca-Cola. I didn't want, but I was brainwashed into that as a kid because the subliminal messaging. So it's been used as a weapon, and it took a little while, but it got to the stage where it's now starting to be recognized as a positive. We can use subliminal messaging as a positive. So we've got, for example, years of programming. We've been completely programmed with our subconscious, and that creates our limiting beliefs, and that creates, doubts, that creates all of these things in our mind, something you can't stop doing or can't start doing, a program that's going on and on. That could be programming, that could be brainwashing. It's subliminally done. It's been subliminally put there from a parent or media, whatever it is, which is why Catherine often says turn the radio off, turn the news off, don't read the news. We don't know what's going on in the real world. I have to get it from my clients, kind of thing, because it's being brainwashed completely. It's propaganda. So let's fast forward then to how it's being used now. Fantastically, really excitingly. Yeah, they used it in Harley Street alongside the hypnosis. Now, let's just add another thing that I do. I am a qualified remedial hypnotist. So I work with clients, again, changing the subconscious behavior. So I'll explain it again. Let's just break it down simply. If you like to imagine your mind is like a ship, and the ship is your conscious, logical, rational reasoning part of the mind. Now imagine your subconscious. Now that's your crew members. Now the crew are responsible for your thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, that kind of thing. So when you've got two things going on here, you've got your logical, rational reasoning mind, which is your conscious mind, which is the captain. You've got your crew, who are the unconscious, the subconscious, who kind of are doing all the work. Now, what often happens is, as a child, we get conditioned. So from the age of 0 to 6, we're in pure subconscious. It's purely subconscious. We are just emotive. We just react. We respond. And for example, we could watch Mum. And Mum would be, in the kitchen one day, and she'd scream and jump on a chair because there's a spider. So straight away, that 6-year-old's going to look at that and go, spiders are scary because Mum's saying that's scary. So straight away, you've now got that condition in that programming gone into your subconscious. You're now scared of spiders, even though you probably weren't. But because you learned that from Mum or, parent guardian, etc., you've now got that. So that those crew members are now running a cycle inside where they're now scared of spiders. And even as an adult, as a logical, rational, reasoning adult, you're like, it's a little spider. I'll just put it in a cup and put it outside. The captain can't see that because the crew are running the show. So bear in mind, 95% of all of our thoughts, patterns, and behaviors are subconscious. So how important is it really to take back control of that? And that's what we kind of do with the hypnosis stuff. And where subliminals come in is they recognized the power of subliminals. So I'll give you an example. I recently did a subliminal script for myself because, of course, you have to practice what you preach, right? So my subliminal script is a meditation one. I add lovely music to it, really lovely generic music, bit of my tuning forks, bit of frequency in there because you can absorb it better. And I listened to it and I turned the volume of my script up loud so the volume of what was being spoken could be heard. So the captain, the logical part of the mind, was listening. So I was driving along, listening. It was like, I'm amazing, all the affirmations, etc. And do you know what came up straight away? Oh, that's cringe. That little voice in your head. Oh, that's not true. Oh, why are you saying that for? And I thought, oh, as the observer, I kind of zoomed out and was like, that's interesting. So what I did, I then played around with the levels a little bit, with the audio, and I put the volume of the speaking all the way down, enough just so it's a whisper, so it's like subliminals work. And I put the music right up and the frequency music and the tuning forks right up. So it's just a beautiful piece of music. So on the way to work, I'm listening to this music, lovely. Within a week, something on that track, one of the affirmations I'd done on my subliminal, had manifested. And I was like, that's strange, because by listening to it without realizing what's being physically, consciously spoken, the crew members had got to work and made it happen. So straight away, I saw the power behind the subconscious, the power behind the programming. And yeah, what I've done, I guess, is create a tool where it's all together. So I've incorporated my tuning forks, I've incorporated the self-edgios. I think we're gonna do a whole spiritual hour about tuning forks, and we'll have a bit of a sound healing session, I think, which will be quite exciting, because people are becoming more aware of the frequencies. We know everything is energy, everything is frequency, and sound is so powerful, and the different frequencies do different things. So again, if we're talking about weaponizing stuff, for example, 440 hertz on its own is a very low negative frequency, and it's used in most pop songs, which is why most popular music I don't particularly like, your Katy Perry's, etc. It's very, very negative frequency. So when you add a tuning fork, so a 528, most people know 528 hertz is a lovely, really lovely vibration, a really lovely sound. When you add that to a subliminal, you're then manifesting that affirmation quicker, because then you're using the sound vibration. So slow me down, Catherine, if I'm going too ahead of myself. But does that make sense in terms of the subconscious and what subliminals are?
Well, I think let's ask the audience. How does anybody have a question? Yes, B.
No, sorry, that's
Oh,
am I
you.
on mute? Am I? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a good pace. I was just saying that thumbs up.
okay, good. Does anybody have any questions? I know Priya's just joined. Welcome, Priya and Joanne. Hi there. Moira, you have a question.
Hello. Really interesting. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear it all as well. So with the remedial hypnotherapy that you do you combine all of this as well? And what kind of things do you work with? So what kind of clients have you worked with, and what have been the before and after kind of things?
Okay, so absolutely great question. So the remedial hypnosis it's not traditional hypnotherapy, I might add. It's the control system. It's a very, as I explained with the captain in the ship, it's a very softly way of encouraging people to make changes. You can use absolutely for anything. So you can treat it like you would traditional hypnotherapy. So I work with insomnia clients, people that have a fear of flying, if you want to give up smoking, give up drinking, emotional eating, lots of different things you can cover. And the difference between the remedial hypnosis and traditional hypnotherapy, although our remedial hypnosis certification is recognized by the Complementary Medical Association, the difference is we don't use trance. Now, traditional hypnotherapy, you'd put someone in a trance and they'd go under, and then they're completely under your spell. You're just kind of telling them what to do. And I've had traditional hypnotherapy before personally, and I always found it to be quite, the crew members kind of go, well, why does she think she can tell me what to do, kind of thing? And you have that, well, I know what's best for me. So the remedial hypnosis, when we work with patients and clients, it's a really beautiful way of just opening up and allowing them to talk. So it's almost like some of those inner crew members are that inner child, and they just want to be heard. So it's allowing them to speak, allowing them to communicate subconsciously. We use the different modalities, which, are traditional hypnotherapy methods. As I said, the only difference is we don't use trance, and I find it more powerful. So results wise, I get some fantastic results with anxiety clients. I work with lots of NHS workers who are highly stressed. Anxiety is a fantastic one to manage. It's very easy to take control of. Insomnia is one of my favorites because they've gone, years on Nitol, years not being able to sleep. Combined with the sound healing that I recommend and a bit of hypnotherapy, it's just amazing results. They're getting night sleep, straight away. So they're quite instant because, again, it's listening to that little part, that little crew member, allowing it to communicate, finding out what's gone on, what the block is, if there's a saboteur in there, and saying, hey, it's okay, you're being listened to, let's work it out, kind of thing, and getting everyone on board. So captain and crew are all on the same mission. You can then get the better results. So yeah, it's a lovely modality, but it's very separate. It's a separate treatment. So if a client was to come to me and they had an issue, we'd work on one thing at that time, and then we'd do that over 3 sessions.
Sounds amazing. I've already got potentially a client for you. Do you work with children as well?
That is something I haven't done, and I'm not qualified with children, so probably not. However, a lot of my practitioner groups do and are qualified to work with children, so I would recommend them.
Oh, shame you don't work with children yet. Oh, that'd be maybe in the future, huh?
Yeah, potentially. There's lots of loopholes with working with children that are needed, and but it could be an option, definitely.
I could definitely see you working with children really well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, either Moira or anyone else? Any other questions coming forward? No. Okay. Well, I didn't have a question. I just thought it was really lovely that you have a conversation with the people, with the group, rather than telling people what to do, which sounds much more modern, much more helpful. So yeah,
Absolutely. It's a kinder way. And the creator of the control system, Tim Box, is a fantastic guy. He's very spiritual, but he's in complete denial about it. And he was a traditional Harley Street hypnotist, and he kind of took that and made this system. And we've all of the practitioners that are learn his way are seeing yeah, this is such a better way to work. It's so beautiful and gets the results. And he's done a fantastic TED talk actually on anxiety, and he went a bit viral, and he's become the anxiety guy now. So check out the Tim Box TED talk, definitely on anxiety. He's my mentor for the control system. He's amazing guy.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so moving on then. Do you have any demonstrations that you want to do, or do you have any thoughts on subliminals? Over to you, Serena.
Yeah, so I kind of was going to bring together then what I've done with the Soul Subliminals website. So it's soulsubliminals.com, and what it is I've created like a subscription service so people can try it first. So it's like a 7-day free trial. Now, as I explained before, when you're listening to the track, it feels like there's nothing there. So it feels like, oh, this is just a bit of music, you know. But actually, you read the script first. And what I'll do, I'll send you, well, I don't know if we can do a share screen on it, but we can send you to have a look. It won't give you access, but it'll give you all the titles of, for example, the subliminals that you can do. So as we said before, remedial hypnosis, someone was to come to me and wanted to give up smoking. We'd do 3 sessions, that would be 3 weeks, and then that would be done. That's sorted, hopefully. We can't ever guarantee. With a subliminal, it's more of an indirect way of working with someone. So what happens is I give you the subliminal track, and it's like a one-off purchase, and you take it home and listen to it for 21 days. So there's no interaction from myself. It's just literally listening to the music for 21 days. And we say to listen to subliminals for 21 days because it takes, we know, 21 days to change a habit, make or break, you know, that kind of thing. And then you kind of continue after that. So listening to a subliminal track for give up smoking works the exact same way as the remedial hypnosis would, except you're doing it in the comfort of your own home. So some people that don't want to maybe deal with the captain and the crew, or they don't have any blocks, they just know they've made the decision, they want to change, they want to make that change, they want to get to sleep, they want to give up smoking, they want to, you know, have an incredible experience. The subliminal is a quicker, fast track way, which is why I quite like it. And you don't have to see someone in person or on Zoom all the time. So it's more of a product-based information. So yeah, on the Soul Subliminals website, I have lots of subjects. So someone would sign up for 7 days, and they can then access all of the audio library. So I've got things like, the give up smoking, get to sleep. I've even done some spiritual ones. I've done inner child wounding, self-love, financial freedom, confidence, things like that. Even heal a family lineage, if you're on a twin flame journey, divine feminine, divine masculine, that kind of thing. So lots of different subjects to have a look at and try. And I've also done some bonus meditations. So just guided meditations for people who are, you know, being introduced to it, really.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can share your website now if you would like to just show everybody what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay, let's share that. Okay, so they would get to this website.
Yeah.
Right. And then they go straight to
so that's meditation. So subliminals on the right.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, so that's the list of all of the ones we've got so far you can try within the 7 days, and you get to listen to them, different tracks. You've got different frequencies. I've got different tuning forks on all of them, so they're very unique. And you would listen, they're about 20 minutes long, so you would listen to one of those for 21 days to make the change. But if you tried for the 7-day trial, you would definitely get a benefit and notice a difference, even if it's a better night's sleep. They're quite powerful. So yeah, and really good fun as well. And that's the sign up link. So if you wanted to try, the other services are obviously everything else I mentioned, because I offer, you know, on Zoom and in clinic. We have a holistic center here, so I offer 1-to-1 sessions of treatments and things on the services. So
okay, wonderful.
Mm. It's just something so I could give people a taster, I guess, because most people are not really understanding what subliminals are and how they work. So it's kind of trying to explain to someone. Now, again, with the subliminals, just bring it back to life coaching and affirmations. Now, most people have heard about affirmations. Most people know about like vision boards, dream boards, and traditional ways of manifesting are, you know, you write it out and you say it in the mirror and you do it every day, and you can get some real good results from that. But my experience, I found, perhaps in my unawakened state, I say, in the past, is it takes a long time. It takes years and years and years. And I've found dream boards in my loft of things, and I look at it, I go, oh, what happened? I've got that house, or I've got that car, or, you know, I look like that now. I see they do work. So manifestation absolutely works, and in your own way. But for me, again, it's all about fast tracking. It's all about getting those results quicker. I don't know. This is the world we live in, isn't it? We want it all now, now, now. And yes, it's a journey, and yes, it's a process. But the manifestations, when I work with life coaching clients, I often take a client on and we work over a 6-week period, and we, you know, I hold you accountable, and we always get to the, you know, the best bit, which is your, you know, what's your future? What's your absolute amazing goal in the future, your 10-year plan? And we get your affirmations. Now, the affirmations are, as I said, fantastic. But like I said before, when you're telling the captain it, the captain's got a lot of limiting beliefs, and it's got a lot of potential saboteurs and, you know, things. It's like, well, no, that's not real. You even got 10 grand in the bank. What a load of rubbish, you know, because often our affirmations are ridiculous, because I like to go big or go home, you know. So the subliminals with the affirmations, now that is where the magic happens. And I want to share, I mean, some of the testimonials are on the website for you to have a look at, but I want to share with you some of my clients who have taken the subliminal. So a bespoke subliminal would be, you would work with me for an hour. We would get to what you want. I use a lot of the traditional Tony Robbins coaching methods to get to really what you truly want. What's your soul's desire? What do you know, what's really going on in every area of your life? I will then write you a bespoke script for that. So we're talking everything, materialistic, spiritual, you name it, we can cover it. I then word it in a way that would happen, you know, in the gratitude, so as if it's already happened, because we know gratitude works, and preempting to the subconscious as if it's already happened, we start to believe it. I will then record that affirmation. So it's a life coaching affirmation, and then add a piece of music that you love. You know, give me, what do you like? Shamanic? Do you like meditation? Do you like just white noise? We can do just ocean waves, whatever it is. And then I add a tuning fork. Now the tuning fork is often guided for me. So I will get from the guides will tell me this person definitely would resonate with this frequency. And we check with you which on the Solfeggio scale we would use. And then that track, I create it within like 3 to 5 days. I deliver it to you for just £99, and you get that track forever. That's yours. That's your little affirmation to listen to forever. And the beautiful thing is, yes, we say minimum 21 days, but we have to be realistic with potential limiting beliefs. So I say, keep listening till it's all happened. You know, could take a year. It depends on how deep the layers of the crew members are, you know, what they're working on. But we are basically deprogramming everything. We are peeling back the layers, and we are providing you with your affirmation, which is what your soul wants. It's your soul desire. And we're incorporating a beautiful piece of music and some tuning forks, which is going to resonate with you on a deeper level. It's like, so that's my body, mind, and soul. That's like my actual embodiment product, which I'm just loving, because not only am I getting the results, it's so rewarding to see people come back and go, oh, you know, I mean, I don't claim to be a medical anything, but I'm dealing with medical ailments a lot of the time. You know, I had a friend I did a bespoke subliminal for her, and she had a heart problems, some heart issues, and in the track we just put, look, you know, heart issues are good, heart's healthy, we're feeling incredible. Within 2 days of listening to it, she'd gone to the doctor and taken off the monitor, because she's like, I don't need this anymore, and she's been fantastic ever since. So it's really powerful, because we know this is not the subliminal doing this. We know this is us. We know we are creating this, and this is just a little tool, a modality to help you create this, because we are conscious creators of our own reality, right? So it's just, I find it a fast track way of doing it, because I'm getting results pretty much instantly and within the 21 days. So I'm very excited.
Wow, Serena, that does sound really fabulous, and does sound like next level. You've done that thing where you've put the two different things together, and created something really bespoke and personal for people. Wow.
Definitely.
Do we have any questions from anybody here? Any insights or questions or anything that anybody want to say? We've got in the chat, we've got Moira said that sounds amazing. And I have shared the website link for everybody to see. And the only other thing is that right in the beginning, Serena, I don't know if you remember, you mentioned that you are a jack of all trades, and Moira added in, jack of all trades and is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So,
True.
and
Yeah,
I think, and I think that when you're saying that this is working for people, then you have mastered it. So you are doing very, very well. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, facilitating the information and taking what you've processed and sharing it in a way that can be impactful, I think so important, and be able to encourage people on their own journey of learning, because it's all about that, isn't it? It's your journey back to you, remembering who you really are and being the best version of you. I would say I want to be on my highest timeline. That's one of my biggest affirmations in my daily subliminal to myself, to be the best version of me on my highest timeline. And in doing that, you're putting out, to the universe, your magnetic frequency to attract that. So then constantly I'm attracting people who are then on that same wavelength. And it's just beautiful to watch, to see how it all unfolds and manifests.
Absolutely. And if you remember when I did the Abundance Magic workshop, we worked out that millionaires say their goals once a day and billionaires say their goals twice a day. So you can imagine if you're doing all this work every day, you will get results for sure.
Absolutely.
Very, very, very.
Imagine you just listen to the subliminal all day, every day.
Yeah.
It's quite addictive. I might add, it's something I very much look forward to in the morning. It's like higher self knows you kind of, oh yes, we're getting in the car soon, and that's exciting because we know we're going to start creating. And that's on top of, your other morning rituals, whatever you do, meditation, grounding practices, activate your Merkaba, gratitude lists, all of the lovely things that we take time to do, yoga, qigong, those lovely practices. This is just another layer just to add to, whatever it is you want to manifest, really.
Yes, absolutely. So did I understand correctly that you're going to be talking about tuning forks this week, or is it going to be another session?
I think I would love to do a whole session with that, because what we can do is go through each of the tuning forks. I can play them because they sound really nice, even on the microphone, and you can get the benefit of it. So you have like a little healing from each one, and I'll explain what each one and what the benefits are and why. I can do a bit of an intro into obviously frequency and sound healing and tuning forks, and how I got into it, though, just to kind of start us off, and why I think it's so important, for sure.
Yeah, please do that.
But we know, most people nowadays have heard of sound healing, sound baths, gong baths. It's often something we visit, incorporate, we get a benefit from. And the tuning forks are less kind of used. They're more of a medical tool. They're more used in the medical industry for, for audio, that kind of thing. But they have been used, again, very similar to the, the Tibetan bowls and the gongs for centuries. They've been used for sound healing. And the solfeggio forks I actually got from, I did some training with a guy called John Bewley. Highly recommend to check out his work. He's a phenomenal gentleman from the US. And he is, I believe he is a scientist, but also a conductor. So he's a musician. He's a bit of everything. And he spent years of his life in a white coat in the lab with petri dishes of cells, using different frequencies to watch what the cells did. So this is on a cellular level. This is like biology stuff. And he noticed, obviously, that cellular structure changes, that the body changes, and it responds to different frequencies and sounds. And he incorporates the solfeggio frequency, which are really beautiful. There's we call it the sacred 9. So they kind of work with the chakras. They start at the bottom and they work all the way up to theta and above, and our higher chakras that we don't really talk about, the 112 above the 7. And his work is just phenomenal, because again, it's energy work. So you can liken it to the Reiki, you can liken it to the chi energy we're channeling, because it's always your intent with tuning forks. But if you find, you may have met a practitioner and had maybe a massage and they've incorporated a tuning fork, it changes the cellular structure of your body. Not only your aura, not only your energy, not only how you feel, it changes you on a physical level. So they're very powerful tuning forks and very underestimated. And I highly recommend anyone to go out and get a tuning fork, even if you're starting with if you're going to start with one, start with 528 hertz, because that we know is the miracle tone. It's a high frequency. It vibrates at the sound of love. It's the same frequency as our sun. It's a very beautiful frequency. You can listen to 528 hertz on YouTube a lot of the time, and they resonate really well with human beings, and they actually repairs the DNA. So if you're going to have a play with tuning forks and maybe introduce it to yourself, to others, or if you have healing modalities or things you do with your clients, use the 528. It's lovely. A friend of mine in America recently messaged, and she said, oh, my little girl's not well, and she was crying. I think she was teething, and I said, oh, put some 528 hertz on, see what happens. And she did. She said, oh, she passed out within 2 seconds. Like, it was instant pain relief, and it was just so beautiful. And yeah, she stopped crying. And so yeah, 528 is very powerful. So that would be a good introduction. But as I said, I'll probably go more in depth to them on what each one does on their solfeggio scale. And when you can get a demonstration as well, because it'd be quite fun.
Yes, we have a quick question from Jo.
Yeah, I was just going to say that sounds really interesting. So you mentioned, who did you train with? John someone?
John Bewley.
He sounds like he might be dead. I just looked him up.
No, he does courses online, and he's
Online. Okay.
How do you spell his name?
Beaulieu.
Okay,
He's
cool.
got the Sound Academy. I'll send you the link for that, actually.
Sound Academy.
Yeah, I think it's that one. But his books are phenomenal as well. Absolutely phenomenal. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, did you put that in the chat, so Serena?
Yeah, let me bring up his thing for you.
Biosonics, I've got him as.
There you go. That's the one.
Is it? Biosonic.
I'll
Okay.
share the link for you.
Oh,
So do any of you guys use sound healing frequency things like that in your bowls, crystal bowls in your work?
yeah, I've got a bowl. I got one from a Tibetan monk the other day, about in the summer. Yeah, I was like, I really like a bowl. I'd like a bowl. And then he just came to Sevenoaks, and I went and met him and had dinner with him, and as it was getting quite late, and he said, oh, I've brought some stuff over, would anybody like to see it? And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful blue one. It goes with my room beautifully. So yeah, so
Do you know what frequency it is, or what? Because it's normally a musical.
No, I don't know what frequency. It just said, buy me, Joanne. I've got little bells as well, tincture bells. I work with them to clear the body first, and I've got the earth chime, the Kochi earth chimes, Kochi ones. You know them, like the little chimes there that come back to earth. They're nice.
Lovely.
Sounds lovely. We've just had a message from Moira saying that she has a crystal bowl, a huge one, but she doesn't know what frequency it is. But also good to know it's a powerful clearer, Moira. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's worth checking out what the frequency is that you're using, because then you can see actually what it's doing and what it can be used for, again, to go a bit deeper with it. Often they will, as I said, I'll send you the link for the John Bewley book, actually, the Human Tuning book, because he breaks it down in a lovely list. So you've got, well, that frequency, 4 hertz, if you're not musical at all, is the note of G5. For example, 528 and 432 together is the perfect fifth. So that's a harmony. So, you know, when you hear singers sing in harmony, or a violin is harmoniously, it gives you chills. So that's why that frequency 528 and 432 is harmonious, because it's the perfect fifth. So it's all connected, as we know, music and it's all connected, interconnected. Yeah. But it's really useful for yourself to know. So it might be worth researching and seeing.
Yeah. Okay. Good question, Moira. How do you check out?
I mean, you could get one of those, you know, like a tuning app, you know, that tunes an instrument, and it's like G, C, and you can hear using that if it's in tune and what it would be.
So I could just play it and it would probably tell me.
Yeah.
Because yes, my daughter started ukulele lessons, and yeah, she's only 6. So, but we were like, oh my God, neither of us musical, but the teachers told us to download an app, and it's really easy, this app. So okay, I'll look at that.
Yeah, have a play. Definitely. But most of the bowls, the Tibetan bowls I've got are G5. So they can be notes, depending on how bassy it is. Mine's like an old school bell one, and you've got the little miniature ones which are often that note. But yeah, have a play with it. And if you get stuck, I'll see if I can find the list. I think it's in his book though, so I think it's I don't think you can access it quite easily online. He doesn't share his stuff online so much. You have to buy it. But I've sent the link for the book as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely am going to look into this because I'm so sensitive to musics, and anything can upset me. I have to often work in complete silence. So it'd be lovely to see if I could find 5.82 hertz to see if that could help me. That definitely.
You have to find one that resonates with you, Catherine, I think. One that really it's you know, going to work with you, because and a lot of the time you think tuning forks are going to be quite loud.
Yes.
They can be for certain animals, because I do use them on animals as well. I work a lot with animals doing the Reiki and using the tuning forks, and the animals know instinctively what they need and where. And often our horses will kind of back up towards us and be like, oh, can you do it on that part of my bum, please? And, you know, you'll be dinging the tuning fork on them using it. But you will know what resonates with you, and they're not as pitchy as you think. They're actually really beautiful.
Yeah, good.
You'll know if it's in cadence.
Good. Right. Any other questions, anyone? Okay. Right. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today, Serena?
I think, yeah, it's just more a case of, for me personally, getting to this time where we are working with making changes and embodying that. And we've brought up, obviously, body, mind and soul changes. For me, the subconscious is often the last thing that we deal with. So we can go on retreats, we go on these gong, but we have these incredible experiences. And as I said, a lot of the time, the limiting beliefs, those things are holding us back. There's still things we're like, oh, well, that's annoying. Or, we meditate and we go out on the road and we're like, oh, angry at someone. There's still something going on that we've not dealt with. So I'm always really interested in the ways that people embody all of the changes, the body, mind and soul. And yeah, I think it's just more a case of making people aware of the subconscious beliefs, patterns, and showing people how powerful it really is. That it's maybe controlling your life, but you didn't realize, or maybe you're stuck in something. If we've had an Akashic record, we've cleared that karma, we've done that okay, so there's still a problem. What is it? Okay, so there could be a saboteur. So it's kind of recognizing to embody all of it. And I did have a hypnotherapy client actually who came in for some changes, and we made the changes and it was fantastic, but she had a lot of childhood trauma. And what came up was she'd actually embodied it, as we do with trauma. It becomes part of our physical, and she'd embodied it physically. It became like a lump on her neck, and it was very heavy on her. And I knew instinctively we had to do some Reiki at the end of the session. So I was like, right, we've done the hypnosis, we've got the mind, let's do the body. So we did some Reiki. That was lovely, but it still didn't work. So I knew there was more to do. And then just peeling back the layers of this to get to, I don't know, the truest version of you, stripping back the old, the layers of the onion, the conditioning, and the subliminals. When we gave her the subliminals, that was it. That was just spiral up, because again, it's that, beautiful vibration. So yeah, just making people aware of, if you've tried everything and you're still not getting, certain results in certain areas, to become a vibrational match for what you want, maybe you need to go a bit further with the subconscious work. So yeah, working with those crew members, because they're screaming to work with you in any way you want. That's just the way that they word it. This could be working with your dragons. This could be working with your guides. You can label it in any way that resonates for you. So it's all integrated, if you like.
Yes.
And it's how you resonate with it.
Well done, yeah. I think that's very interesting. I have noticed a lot of subconscious and ego coming forward in Akashic records. The guides are referencing them at the moment for the person in front of me and saying, actually, would you mind if the ego or the subconscious mind steps forward now so that we can have a word? And oftentimes that subconscious mind comes forward and it's actually shaking in its boots with how traumatized it's been, because it's had to really help this person survive. And it's been through so much, and the conscious and the subconscious are definitely not talking to each other. And then we have a nice long chat with the subconscious, well, the guides do, and calm it down and say, that was, but it no longer is. So you can now start changing your beliefs. But doing something like Subliminals would do that straight away, you know, as well. That would really, really be good. And I just thought of the word I wanted to use earlier, which is the alchemist. You've been an amazing alchemist to combine two or more than one thing together to create a new product for your clients. I think that's really, really amazing. And it just reminded me of Sarah Canwright. I'm sure you've seen her in the group. She does hypnosis as well, but what she does is she goes into the Akashic records for her clients and then works out what the problem is that way, and then writes a script with the guides for that person to help them. But yeah, the just different way of approaching the subject. But yeah, you do.
It all gets the same results though, and it's whatever resonates with you and whatever's going to work with the person. Definitely, it's different way. We're thinking of different ways of doing the same thing over and over, but it ultimately, again, as I said, it's bringing you back to you, being on your highest vibrational timeline, being the best version of you, and stripping back all the, you know, the conditioning, the brainwashing we've had over the years that's been forced upon us that we don't need anymore. We're free souls. We have free will. We can do whatever we want to do, and we are here to create this new earth in the best version of ourselves. So that's what I'm excited about doing. It's not even about the modality.
No, I think all the things you're saying are really ticking boxes for me. Fast tracking, getting to the root of the problem, getting the subconscious mind to work in the right direction, because it's working, but it's obviously oftentimes working in the wrong direction. It's got the wrong information. So let's get everybody on the same page and move forward together. I think that's
blocks.
Fantastic.
But also, Catherine, so just to say at the end here, I always there's almost a little bit of I don't know if you've noticed, there's lots of spiritual bypassing going on at the minute, and the world is taking off. It's fantastic. It's really lovely to see lots of things going on, but there can be a little bit there's a fine line for me between someone that comes to you and they're like, I'm broken, I need to be fixed, and knowing that you know, all of these things are lovely, but ultimately it doesn't matter, and it's okay, and whatever it is you've been through is part of your learning as a soul, and it's part of your growth, and to take it and flip it into a positive. And yes, the subliminals are amazing, and yes, they can get you to this and do this, and that will make it easier, but we're not saying there's something wrong here. And I always kind of turn the client around and say, hey, you know, you've got this thing and that's fine, but are you dead? No, you're still here, you're existing, and this is great. Do you want to be the best version of you? Let's bring that out. I have like more of a softly approach to these things, although my results are hard and, you know, fast and in your face, and a lot of my coaching is very Tony Robbins American intense, which because I'm quite a bubbly person, but I also like to bring it back and zoom out a bit and say, hey, it's okay if you don't do it, and if you don't want it, it's not the right time. And you know, people come to me for consults all the time. I offer a free consultation for anything you would like to try with me, and they go, oh, it's not for me. I'm like, that's okay, it's okay, it's not your time, I'm not your person. And you know, always flipping it back to the person, because I'm not the one that's going to make the change. You are the person who, you know, wants to experience that. You guys are going to make changes. When you listen to the subliminal, it's not my crew members manifesting into reality, it's you. You are a conscious creator of your own reality. You are manifesting everything you want. Take ownership. Let's not be a victim to our reality, but take ownership and be the best version of us. But yeah, these are just tools. They're toolkits, aren't they?
Beautifully said, Serena. Really, really, really beautifully said. We just had a little message from Joanne Sissons. She said she had to go, but she said very big thank you and huge heart hugs.
Thank you, Joanne.
Do we have any questions from anyone at the moment? Yeah. Okay. Because Serena, you've explained it beautifully and everybody's understood. So well done as well as presenting. Okay, so we are going to probably wrap up there. Oh, we have another message, Moira. Oh, thank you for today.
Mhm.
It's interesting. I agree. Very, very interesting. I'm going to take away quite a few things. Personally, I think really, really well done. And we are going to be hearing from Serena in the future.
Thank you.
And yeah, thanks, Priya, also for thanks to you. But yeah, so I think well done, everyone, today. We are going to have some more spiritual hours coming up. I think I've missed them. I've had other things to do, but I've really missed this time together. And we can talk about all these different things and yeah, experience everything. So thank you for bringing your beautiful gifts to the world, Serena.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for holding the space. It's lovely to talk to you all.
All right, I'm going to end the session there then, if there's nothing else from anybody. And I will be putting this onto Facebook very soon. Okay, have a magical day, everyone. Take care.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.